guys, welcome to It's Shay's Life, a lifestyle channel that focuses on vlogs, makeup tutorials, fashion hauls, relationship tips and advice, and all showing life after a toxic relationship. So if you are interested and want to know how you can go on after you survive a toxic relationship, stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, It's Shay's Life. I'm Shay. So today we're going to be talking about somewhat of divorce, but more so why I would never move in with somebody I'm not married to. So to kind of start it out with, I dated a guy for 2 years, which I've talked about before, and we lived together for 1.5 years. Now, it was not something that I always wanted to do. I've always said growing up that I would never live with somebody that I'm not married to. And throughout our relationship and through conversations and the fact that we were always together, either he was always at my house or I was always at his. So my lease was coming up and we decided that I should move in, and we actually turned my apartment into an Airbnb. So I was able to get money off of that, so a little side hustle. So I was able to get money off of my apartment while we resided together. When we actually parted ways, that was the hardest part. And being that we were not on amicable grounds at the time, we were not able to really talk. I had to basically make a decision for myself what was most healthy and safest for me at that time. And being that we bought a lot of stuff together, it was really hard to separate things. Like, there was stuff that I wanted to take. It was like, I put my money into this is mine, but it wasn't right, or God was like, no, you're not gonna do that because, and when I think back, I'm like, it would have made for an even crazier situation than me leaving it. And even though I wanted it, God was like, no. I just basically took everything that I brought in and anything that I purchased there. That's basically how I had to settle it. Yeah, and it was rough. I mean, not even just the taking my stuff out, but moving back into my apartment that I did the Airbnb that I had to end up canceling. I feel like being that we lived together, the healing journey of me separating from him was so much harder. Being that, like, I've separated from guys before and it was never this hard. We were basically intertwined. Like, we were always together, woke up together, went to events together, went to bed together. You know, he was always there and he was a part of my life. And it was like he was a spouse without having that title of a spouse. And so I really understand what the Bible means now. John chapter 4, Jesus is talking to the Samaritan woman at the well, and basically telling her about her life and without revealing himself that he's the Messiah. And he says, go get your husband. And the lady says, well, I don't have a husband. And he said, you're right, but you're living with this guy that you're not married to, and you've been married 4 times. So in that passage of scripture, I'll put the exact verse down here, but in that passage of scripture, God's basically saying that you should be living with someone that you're not married to. And as I recall off the top of my head, I feel like that's one of the only spots that he actually comes out and says something like that. But it does say in Ephesians not to be unequally yoked, which my ex and I, we were very unequally yoked, which is another reason why it didn't work. But it's harder to move on when your soul ties are so deep. It was our little family, and it felt like a family, but it wasn't a family, if that makes any sense. Like, we had no official titles. It was just boyfriend and girlfriend, and we created this illusion of a family. And I think that's another reason why it felt so hard, because I had bought into the illusion of what this family was, even though we weren't really a family. And then when I separated, even though we talked about getting married and talked about all this stuff, it was like my world came crashing down. Having that intertwined relationship with somebody and then having to separate, after 2 years, it was really, really hard. And I vow never again to live with a guy until I get married. I don't care, oh, we're engaged, there's no none of that, because I want to make sure that I'm pleasing God at the end of the day. For the first few months, like, I felt like I was going through a divorce, and not just, oh, I'm breaking up from a guy and I need to move on, but like my life as I knew it was completely wrecked. You know, it was just weird. So I really would never recommend someone moving in with somebody. They say, oh, well, I need to move in to test the waters. You never know what the person is like if you don't move in together. But if you two are under the helm of God and you believe that this is the man that God has given to you, or the woman that God has given to you, there's no need to test the waters. What am I, some car that you could test drive? No. So no, I don't want nobody test driving me no more. I'm a woman, I am a person, I have feelings, and God created marriage to be sacred. And the fact that I was living in something that was like a marriage without being married, I broke that sanctity. And I've had to work on forgiving myself for that and healing, so that when I do get married, when God says, okay, you're ready, this is the man that I have for you, I won't go in saying, well, this is what happened before in the relationship. I needed to do this so he won't act like this because of what happened to me in the past. I refuse to let that happen. If I'm saying that I believe in God and I want to please him, I'm not going to do something that does not please him, if that makes sense. So I've learned my lesson, and I hope that you can learn from me so you won't make the same mistake that I did. I'd rather us spend time together on mutual ground, or even, you know, my dad used to always say, keep your house clean, because you never know when a guy will just pop up on you. And so if you really want to know how somebody lives, pop up on them, because if somebody's not expecting you, then you will see, like, if they're filthy, if they're dirty, because people hide who they truly are for only a short amount of time. So if you really want to know how people are, hang around them with their friends and family. I just wanted to share some insight with you, and I hope you gained a lot. And yeah, leave the comments below. Let me know if this worked out for you, if it hasn't, some of your stories, and make sure you keep the conversation going. I would love to chat with you. And thank you for joining me today, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.